Good evening. I'm Nelson Fogg, the principal of Hartford High School, and on behalf of our graduates, we are honored tonight that you are sharing Hartford High School's 130th annual commencement exercise. This means that tonight's graduates are part of a rich tradition that dates back to the 19th century. In the 130 years, I cannot imagine that there has ever been a nicer evening. At this time, I would ask the senior members of the chamber choir to come forward for their final performance. Our chamber choir, under the direction of Ms. Andrea Nardone, will perform the national anthem, "In a Place Between Us Both" by Michael John Trotta.
Oh, say can you see by dawn's early, to proudly ring it at the twilight's last gleaming, whose stripes and bright through perilous, to ramparts we would watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting into, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Have I found my between us both, you and me. Something so much more. But something so much more. A place where I am who I really want to be, and a place where you are more than you'll ever know. Will you meet me there in the here and now, as part of the whole? Will I find you? Will I find myself and you there next to me? You help me to find, you show me how to find myself. Me, I'm everything, it's just the way it needs to be, to do or say,
Our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Thomas DeBalzi, will now say a few words of welcome to our graduates and guests.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, seniors, the parents, family, friends, faculty and staff, school board members. Welcome to our commencement ceremony for the class of 2019. We're so proud of these young people for everything they've accomplished here in their years at Hartford High School and in Hartford Memorial Middle School or Dothan Brook School or Ottaquechee School or White River School. Commencement marks the end of something, and everything that they've done in this school we've been so proud of. So we're so proud and of all the support we've given them and everything they've done to get here tonight. But commencement also marks the beginning of something. So it's the beginning of your time to start taking charge of your own life and making your own decisions. And we hope that as you begin to do that, you rely on all of the lessons that you've learned here at Hartford High School, the lessons that you've learned in the classroom, the lessons you've learned on the playing field, the lessons in the cafeteria or in the hallway. Sometimes it's not just the big lessons, but the little ones that really teach you and serve as guideposts as you go on in your life. You're going to have a lot of decisions to make, what job to take, whether or not to switch majors, where to live, who to live with. And we hope that what we've taught you will support you in making those tough decisions. And sometimes, like I said, it's not the lessons that you've learned in the class, but lessons that you've learned in between class or on the playing field or in the cafeteria. I can remember when I was your age, a very important lesson that I learned was one of those impromptu conversations outside in the hall with the teacher. Miss Walsh was my 8th grade homeroom teacher. I didn't even have her for class. I had her in 7th and 8th grade for homeroom. And it was that time of the year when we were doing student council elections. And she pulled me in the hall and she said, Tommy, I think you should run for student council. And I said, me? I can't do that. I didn't have the courage and the perseverance to try to run for an office, and it was a popularity contest, and I wasn't all that popular. But I did it anyway because she encouraged me. And I ended up winning that student council position, and it really did change my life. In a small way back then, she encouraged me. But as I go on in my life, I realized I did have some leadership skills, and here I am today in front of you as the superintendent of the school. So you never know what you're going to be able to do. I just hope that you remember those small lessons you learned as well as the big ones, and they help serve as guideposts as you go on in your lives. I know you'll do great things. You've done great things here. You have a lot of potential, and I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you have a wonderful night. This is your night to enjoy. So thank you and welcome to the commencement for the class of 2019.
Our program tonight will include student speakers, special awards, and of course, the presentation of diplomas. At this time, I would like to introduce the class of 2019 salutatorian. The class of 2019 salutatorian is Jack Duranso. Jack is a thinker who seeks and accepts big challenges and finds delight in solving complex problems. Jack has used his advanced communication skills to create connections within and well outside our school community. These have included networking with college professors as he worked on his honors program capstone project. Jack found accomplishment through music and theater, both in the spotlight of a solo and behind the scenes as a techie. Jack's eclectic interests found him equally comfortable as a member of the climbing and chess teams. Jack has served his community throughout his Hartford High School career, Once again, his activities ensured contact with a range of organizations and groups, from the Polar Express to music festivals and summer camp counselor. As I reflect on Jack's involvement at our school, it becomes apparent that he has pursued a full and rich high school experience. Jack leaves Hartford High School with an indelible image of a student who loves learning, enjoys challenges, the more rigorous the better, and who has charted a unique path through our school, always looking for the next interesting and demanding opportunity, and when one did not immediately present itself, he created it. I now present the class of 2019 salutatorian, Jack Duranzo.
High school is an important time in the life of a young pigeon. The pigeon gains more confidence, more independence as it prepares to fly away from the nest. For most pigeons, high school is both stressful and rewarding. Hopefully, all the pigeons graduating this year are able to reflect back fondly on their time. We can all flap around confidently, ready to look towards the future. It does take time for a pigeon to grow into its adult plumage. Back when I was a very young pigeon, I attended kindergarten, as did most birds my age. The teacher gave everyone in the class an M&M, but all pigeons know that the best M&Ms are the blue ones. Well, I got a blue one, but the bird next to me did not. To remedy this disparity, she asked me to trade M&Ms. When I told her no, she took mine anyways. Like most young pigeons faced with conflict, we both started to squawk and cry. The teacher came over and took away both M&Ms and then gave us each a new blue one. Both of us young pigeons learned a valuable lesson that day or something. I relayed this story to show you all how different this year's graduating flock is from ourselves in the past. If this situation came up today, most birds would just fly over to West Lebanon and buy a whole bag full of M&Ms. Pigeons are great navigators, and social situations are no exception. Time is funny in that it passes. It's hard to believe that it's been 4 years since these pigeons nervously bobbed their way into the high school. Hesitant and unsure of themselves, these birds wandered through uncharted territory. Those days are in the past. Now, these pigeons strut around, having successfully completed another segment of life. A little birdie told me that he wouldn't recognize his former self. That isn't because pigeons are stupid or anything, but it's because of growth and positive change. In high school, he was really able to grow into his adult feathers. All of these graduating pigeons have grown up and changed in some way throughout the course of these last few years. It's true that they aren't the sweet, adorable baby birds that they once were, but change is a good thing. Now, these pigeons are capable of flying off and doing their own things, living their own lives. If you haven't gotten this by now, the pigeons that I'm referring to are myself and my fellow classmates. Now, some of you may be insulted, as pigeons have been called the rats of the air, but let me explain myself. Pigeons are way cooler than you've been led to believe. As I mentioned earlier, these birds are great navigators, even using human roads and structures to find their way around. There's a pigeon fact you can share with your friends. But in all seriousness, when I call us pigeons, I mean that we are resilient, great navigators. It requires real strength to find your way in life during these turbulent times. I think we've done a good job at it. The average lifespan of a domestic pigeon is 18 years. Most of us are that age now. Except, unlike pigeons, our lives are just beginning. I really do believe that we are a group that is capable of changing the world for better. We are the pigeons of 2019, and now is the time for us to fly. Thank you.
The class of 2019 valedictorian is, in the absolute definition of the term, a Renaissance man. Abayomi Lo has excelled at our school in every imaginable way. He is obviously a scholar, he is a leader, and he leaves our school with a collection of school and state track records that has rarely, if ever, been matched by a hurricane. Along the way, Abby has literally written a self-help book titled Breakthrough, for which he was recognized with an Andrew Carnegie Award. Mr. Lowe earned the RIT Innovation and Creativity Award for his original use of technology. Abayomi's leadership has included being president of the math team, and he has provided leadership for both the indoor and outdoor track teams. To describe Abayomi only by his awards and accomplishments does him a disservice. Abby is described by those who know him as committed to the good of others, a close and caring friend, and someone who makes those around him better. Our campus has benefited greatly by this last trait. Abayomi Lowe has made our school and community a better place. I now present the class of 2019 valedictorian, Abayomi Lowe.
Good afternoon, everyone. When I first found out that I would have to give a graduation speech, I was pretty nervous. I remember being in the audience of last year's graduation and thinking to myself, man, if I was up there, I would have no idea what to say. But I can now say that after hours of intense focus and meditation, no, I'm just kidding. I made it here, and I do have something that I want to say. When we're all finished tonight and we move on with our lives, I want you all to be left with this one idea, which is to be creative. Now, when I say be creative, I'm not just talking about creativity in the common sense. I'm not just saying you should, do a quick painting or write a short poem every once in a while, although that does have its benefits. I'm talking about creativity at its core meaning. In my opinion, to be creative is to not let expectations hold you back from reaching your full potential. To be creative is not letting what you're supposed to do or who you're supposed to be prevent you from doing what brings fulfillment into your life and bring values into other people's lives. As writer Israel Moore Ivor put it, never be complacent about the current steps. Don't agree and follow the status quo. Be determined that you are going to make an indelible impact with great change. Now dress up and go make it happen. Now, I didn't always have this perspective, but after 4 years of observing and getting to know my peers, I believe I've come to understand what it means to be a creative person. Now, I'm aware this is always said about graduating classes, but I'm going to say it anyway because I truly believe that this is true. The class of 2019 is not your average graduating class. As Miss Stevens, our English teacher, put it, you guys are a stone-cold pack of weirdos. We, of course, took this as a compliment. Now, besides being the smallest graduating class at Hartford in over a decade, we are special because we found a way to not let long-held beliefs determine how we behave, what we create, and how much we can accomplish. We are a class that isn't afraid to explore our interests, and we aren't afraid to create works of high quality that bring value to ourselves and our community. For years now, the cross-country team has practiced all throughout the fall season without a cross-country course. Running on the streets and sidewalks had become the status quo. Thomas Caston, a fellow graduating senior, decided to take it upon himself to create a cross-country course and even host a meet here at the high school. Now, he could have just stood by and let things go as they always have, but he decided to take the risk and create something that would have a lasting positive influence on our school. And who knows, maybe one day someone will follow in his footsteps and finally build our school a track. Sammy Johnson, another high school senior, didn't just leave his passion for words and stories as a mere interest. He took it upon himself to write his very own book, which, in fact, he does intend to publish. Jonas Spalding wasn't satisfied with learning about biology through the AP Bio curriculum. He challenged himself by taking a college-level course at Dartmouth, then proceeded to further pursue his interest in biology by interning at a premier biotechnology lab in the Upper Valley. Jack Duranzo, who you just heard from, took his passion for astrophysics a step further by creating a resource for other students to learn about astrophysics so he could share his passion for the field. Now, these are just a few students. And all these students could have settled, become complacent, and taken the easier beaten path. But no, they stretched themselves by stepping out of their comfort zones and did something that left a positive impact on the rest of the school community. And I know these are just a few examples, but every single one of us has taken risks. Our class exemplifies what it means to be creative because we've taken strides to do things that haven't been done before. And I believe that the success of our creative nature has already shown in our many accomplishments. I really have to say, I'm proud to have been a part of the class of 2019, and I'm confident in our future success. I'm sure that we will all continue to express our creative tendencies, and I hope that those who see us will be inspired by our deeds. Now, I know I've talked a lot about the class of 2019, but I couldn't leave here today without acknowledging those who have brought us here today. I want to thank all of the teachers, parents, coaches, and other mentors who have encouraged us to try new things, do our absolute best, and have given us the opportunities to dive deep into our interests. I also want to give a special shout out to Ms. Markowski's advisory, room 204, for being the best advisory and giving us a lot of great memories here at Hartford High. I want to thank all of my siblings, my family back home in Barbados, my extended family, godparents, friends for their guidance, love, and never-ending support. And before I leave today, I want to thank my very own parents for everything they've done for me. Through it all, my parents have always had my back, no matter what. I've always been able to come with them with a new idea or a goal, and they would support me completely in my endeavors. When times were tough and I needed motivation to keep going, I would think of my parents and all they had done to bring me to where I am today. I would think of my father, who at the age of 18 came to this country without much, but used his head and his natural skills as an entrepreneur to build a life and provide for his family. I would also think of my mother, who with 3 noisy kids, worked tirelessly at achieving her master's degree so she could in turn do more to pave the way for her children. I cannot express how grateful I am for all you guys have done for me. Now, with that, I'll leave you all with a few words from renowned actor Denzel Washington. Keep moving, keep growing, keep learning, and I'll see you all at work. God bless.
We're going to return those certificates. The class of 2019 president is Emily Ricker. An effective class president must be a unifying force within the class. Emily Ricker helped unify her class. Emily's steady presence, never too high or too low, made her the ideal individual to lead a class as diverse of interests as the class of 2019. Much has been made about the size of this class. By my recollection, this is the smallest class to graduate from Hartford High School in 50 years. However, this is a case where the pieces combined to accomplish many unique feats, and collectively the class searched out opportunities. I believe that it was the quiet, comfortable leadership that Emily provided that kept everyone seeking to challenge themselves and finding their voice within our school. Exceptional leaders always make sure there is room for others. They do not dominate with their presence. They create an environment in which others can flourish, and in the process, they provide a model of excellence that challenge each of their peers to live up to. My observation of Emily is that she provided this space and model in our hallways, classrooms, athletic fields, and at the special events that classes share. I now present the class of 2019 president, Emily Ricker.
Good evening, parents, family, community members, and class of 2019. First off, I would like to thank my class for providing me with the opportunity to lead them as their class president, even though it left me with the task of figuring out what to say in my speech tonight. While trying to figure out what to talk about, I asked many teachers, and they just said, write about your memories and your time in high school. But I found this challenging until I talked to one particular teacher who didn't tell me to write about my memories, but instead asked me why I'm writing this speech and why class presidents are asked to give speeches. We came to the conclusion that the purpose of this speech is to represent the class of 2019. So I've been asking my peers what they would want to say if they had the opportunity to be up here tonight. The most common answer was when they thought of our class, they thought of how small and close we are. Even though this sounds a little cliche, it's true. We have kids from Cornish, Heartland, Hartford, and Sharon in our class, and starting freshman year, we came all together as one close group. Together, we have worked hard, whether was fundraising, homework, group projects, or many tasks like this. Another thing a peer mentioned to me is how high school can be portrayed in movies and how this is not how it really was. Coming into high school, innocent middle schoolers only have movies to tell them what it's going to be like, and I don't think Mean Girls or High School Musical are good examples of reality. These movies and similar ones show how scary and awful high school is supposed to be. Not every day was amazing, but knowing that you have this close-knit group of peers surrounding you in the halls every day does make it a little easier on the hard days. This class was special in the way because we used high school as a place to learn how to treat each other. Communication is a part of high school that was the most influential. We could tell when one of our peers was having a bad day and knew how to help, even if that meant just leaving them alone for a while. High school is about the friendships you make and about the experiences you have, and with a smaller class, it was easier for us to make connections. It's not all about what you learn in a math class, but we have gained communication by being surrounded by our peers. The class of 2019 thanks Hartford High School for being the place where we could involve ourselves in these experiences, friendships, and challenges. And a special thank you to teachers and family members who supported and helped us, each and every one of us, be here tonight. Thank you.
High schools have some interesting traditions. One of ours involves a very large key. It is the tradition of the outgoing class president to present this very large key to the incoming class president.
Greer, I know, as class president of 2020, you will take good care of this key and do great things for our school.
Thank you. Congratulations and good luck, class of 2019.
At this time, I would ask the senior members of the band to come forward for their final performance. Our band, under the direction of Ms. Danielle Connerty, will perform Procession of the Sorcerers by Robert Buckley. Thank you. We will now recognize a number of students with the Director's Awards. To qualify for this prestigious honor, a student must have a 3.67 grade point average, which is the equivalent of an A or better. These students will receive a High Scholars Medal. Mr. Kevin Christie, our School Board of Directors Chair, will read these students' names, and they are asked to line up in front of the stage.
Maj Abdugani, Carrie Comstock, Caitlin Doyle, Jack Dorenso, Aiden Grant, Tucker Guyette, Matthew Hausler, Eric Gian, Thomas Caston, Parmidir Kaur, Andrew Knight, Abioni Lo, Thomas Page, Nicholas Porter, Glenn Riley, Emily Ricker, Colton Shaw, Ethan Snedden, Jonas Spalding, and Nicole Waitley. Congratulations.
Congratulations. At this time, I would like to introduce our Honors Program Coordinator, Mr. Doug Anton, who will share the Honors Program criteria.
Thank you, Mr. Fogg. Good evening. At this time, I'd like to ask that all 11 seniors of the class of 2019 who have successfully completed the honors program to come forward and line up in front of the stage. To be eligible for honors program recognition at graduation, these students must have met the following requirements. First, they've all earned at least 15 advanced level credits over their 4 years while maintaining a minimum GPA of 3.25. These students have all taken at least 2 advanced placement or college level courses. They've attended 2 lectures yearly at Dartmouth College or other community institutions. They've attended yearly skills workshops, including guest speakers. They've all committed to at least 100 hours of service to their community. They've attended a team building leadership retreat. And perhaps most importantly, they've all proposed, researched, completed, and presented a capstone project or thesis during their junior and senior years. Symbolic of their scholarly achievements, honors program students were awarded their red and black hoods during the recent senior awards night. Tonight, they will be receiving an honors diploma. At this time, school board member Russell North will read their names, capstone titles, and colleges of attendance while the students receive individual plaques to commemorate their achievement.
It's my great honor to introduce the honors members. Abayomi Lowe, whose capstone was entitled Improving Athletic Performance at Hartford High. Abayomi will be attending Brown University. Aiden Grant, whose capstone was titled Step by Step, an exploration of the design process. Aiden will be attending the Rochester Institute of Technology. Eric Gian, whose capstone was entitled Balancing the Values of Advanced Courses. Eric will be attending Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Ethan Snedden and Maj Abdelghani, whose co-created capstone was titled Adulting 101, Creating a Website for Future Adults. Ethan will be attending the Colorado School of Mines, and Maj will be attending the University of Vermont. Jack Duranso, whose capstone was titled Processing Astrophysical Data. Jack will be attending Dartmouth College. Jonas Spalding, whose capstone was titled Science Experience at Hartford. Jonas will be attending the University of Vermont. Nicholas Porter, whose capstone was entitled The Effect of Stimulants on HSS Athletes. Next, Nicholas will be attending Rensselaer Polytechnical Institute. Parliament Cure, whose capstone was entitled Cooking Club, Eat Your Way Through India, will be attending the University of Vermont. Thomas Caston, whose capstone was titled Creating a Cross-Country Trail at Hartford. Thomas will be attending the University of Minnesota. Thomas Page, whose capstone was titled Directing, Producing, and Managing a Musical. Thomas will be attending Ohio University. Thank you. Our School Board of Directors Chair, Kevin Christie, will now present the Philip Dutrumbull Outstanding Honors Program Student Award.
The Philip Dutrumbull Outstanding Honors Program Student Award. The honors program was created by former high school principal Philip Dutrumbull to further challenge students at Hartford High School, to recognize Mr. Dutrumbull's long-standing devotion to Hartford High School and to the achievement of academic excellence. The school board has created an annual award to the honors program senior who most exemplifies the qualities of a scholar. This year's award goes to Jack Dorenzo. For his outstanding contributions to the ideals of the honors program, and particularly his capstone work entitled Processing Astrophysiological Data. Between his junior and senior years, Jack set out to learn everything he could about the field of astrophysics, or the study of stars and other bodies in space. He was tireless in his determination to learn all he could, reading many books and taking online classes, independent study, and college courses to become an expert on this complex topic. Not content with simply studying the night sky, Jack built a telescope from scratch, using it to collect beautiful images from space. He networked with several professors, acquiring original raw data from scientific telescopes around the world, and then processing this data himself to turn into usable information. To conclude his capstone, he created a website where he posted pictures from his telescope, information on the science behind astrophysics, and video tutorials for others to learn the basics. Overall, Jack's capstone was incredibly impressive, and this award is well deserved. Congratulations, Jack. Well done. I'm really proud of you.
Now I ask the class of 2019 to please stand. It is a custom at Hartford High School's commencement ceremonies for the graduates to show their appreciation to all those who have supported them over the years, particularly their parents, guardians, and family members. The class will now extend a round of applause as a gesture of thanks. At this time, it is my honor to attest to the Board of Directors that the students before you, known as the class of 2019, have met the requirements for graduation set by the state of Vermont and by you, the Board of Directors, as required by state statute and district policy. I also affirm that they are qualified to receive the school diploma or certificates of completion that you're about to confer. Tonight, we have 89 graduates to present to you. All are eager to take what they have learned at Hartford and share it and themselves with the world beyond this valley. Mr. Christie, it is now my distinct pleasure to present to you members of the class of 2019. I would ask that guests please withhold their applause until all diplomas have been bestowed upon the graduates. We'll now move the lectern. Just set it right here. I now ask the class officers to lead us and the rest of their class to receive their diplomas. Mr. Christie will be helped by Mr. North.
Luke Patriquin. Andrew Knight. Emily Ricker. Parminder Kerr. Dawson Nolette. Jonas Spalding. Jacob DeRozier. Lindsay Nichols. Aboyami Lowe. Maj Abdelghani. Thomas Page. Thomas Caston. Hunter Noyes. Nicholas Porter. Caitlin Gaudette. Alice Dwyer. Isabella Lukowitz. Ethan Snedden. Ronnie Bryan. Jasmine Wilson. Reese Thompson. Maxwell Pfeiffer. Riley Packard. Mike Thompson. James Clower. Dylan Keenan. Colton Shaw. Eric Hazen. Amber DeFord. Aiden Grant. Jack Duranso. Eric Gion. William Mann. Nicholas Cameron. Seth Ellifritz. Morgan Richardson. Emma Libby. Jenna Klotz. Ashley Smallwood. Alyssa Marie Worth. Morgan Gunn. Alexis Boyce. Carrie Comstock. Bianca Severance. Derek Wheeler. Kelsey Thibodeau. Morgan Merrill. Amelia Fifield. Kevin Haley. Zoe Fleming. Michael Dolan. Dalton LeMay. Zoe Salzano. Colleen O'Brien. Cole Gardner-Buisson. Lizzie Pierce. Jakaya Ellison. Logan Osmer. Sam Johnson. Michael Kopp. Jessica Parmenter. Erica Marshall. Emily Smith. Delaney Simmons. Trevor Lebrecq. TJ Miller. Tucker Guyette. Matthew Fungi. Camden LeBrun. Glenn Riley. Tyler Lupus. William Webster. Nicholas Willie. Matthew Hausler. Bailey Bean. Jessie Lynn Baslow. Keegan Martin. Caitlin Dole. Nicole Watley. Lexi Johnston. Michael Mace. Zachary Lafont. Kurt Smith. Ryan Fortune. Christopher Cummings. Busara Hall. Jack Kelly.
How about a great round of applause for our graduates? To the class of 2019, on behalf of the Board of Directors, the administration, the faculty, parents, and guests, I congratulate you on your accomplishment represented by your graduation from high school. As a Hartford High School alumnus, I want to welcome you on behalf of thousands of Hartford graduates who have come before you. Tonight's achievement was made possible by your efforts. However, there were many others who supported you along the way. Take a little time over the next few days or weeks to thank those in your life who partnered with you to make tonight a reality. I want to leave you with one last message, and I promise I'll keep it short. Hartford has been your community. This has been the place to nurture, support, and partner with you as you dreamed of today and the many tomorrows to follow. You will always be welcome here. Each of you will leave here tonight as part of a deep, connected community. Each of you is vital within that community. None of you is without trials, and I challenge each and every one of you to become comfortable with the one who looks at you from the mirror. Many of us, most of us, probably all of us, walk around self-conscious, abundantly aware of our flaws. As of tonight, high school is over. This does not, however, mean that all your struggles will have ended. All of us are in a process of becoming comfortable with our own imperfection. In this quest, we often carry within us a magnifying glass that amplifies our flaws. So often we are the only ones who see these, and yet we spend so much time looking through that lens that we become focused on our faults. I don't believe that perfection is our human mission, nor should it be a goal. The world you enter needs you, all of you. While it is cliche, it is so true, as most cliches are, that our interconnectedness requires that we seek each other, that we contribute ourselves, all of ourselves, to humanity's web. Learning to accept and ultimately love the imperfect you allows others to be interrelated and invites them into your unique and interesting lives. I have found a truth in the fact that everyone enjoys and gets satisfaction from helping others. Yet so often we refuse to seek support or ask for assistance. We do not provide the opportunity for others to serve, despite our recognition that service is one of the highest human ideals. Embracing our imperfection attracts those who will become our partners. Each year at graduation, I share the words of the poet Ms. Marianne Williamson. In her poem, Our Deepest Fear, Ms. Williamson observes that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Each of you carries within you the ability to be powerful beyond measure, to be an agent of change in your life and the lives of others. Each of you is brilliant, talented, and fabulous in your own ways. Humans are not perfect. Spend your life seeking that brilliance, celebrating those talents, and becoming at peace with the imperfect you. When you leave Hartford High School tonight, please remember that each and every one of you serves our world best when you shine. Each of you has an important contribution to make to our world, and only you can provide your special talents. Congratulations to the class of 2019.